Welcome to value. Value is the lightness and darkness of a color. So we always start in this class with value scale. So I have numerically given assignments to each rectangle here. So when I talk about a 1 value, I'm talking about white. There's no value. 2 is light, 3 is light, 4 is light, 5, 6, 7, these are all kind of medium grays, and then 8, 9, 10, 11 are the darker shadows, okay? So what I want you to do is, on the bottom value scale here that's empty, I want you to duplicate the value scale. So in 1, leave it blank, but in 2, I want you to make it very light. This is where it becomes tricky, is because when you think to even value, you think you need to push down hard on your pencil to put value in the rectangle. But to get a light value, you're going to use a 2H or a 3H pencil. Hold it like I'm holding it. Put your fingers towards the back of the pencil, and very small, I'm not moving my pencil very much, very small movements, very lightly drag your pencil across the rectangle, very lightly. It might be hard to even see it in this video, which is the goal, people. Now, we're practicing value. The bigger thing we're practicing is how to apply our pencil to paper. So I have been an art teacher for 12 plus years. Before that, I went to college for this. So this is like a 15-year product here to get me to draw this lightly. Okay, you can barely see it. See what I mean? Super light. And that takes training. You are in the first stages of training, okay? So you might start off kind of like this, and that's too dark and it's too scribbly. So what we need to do, I need to get an eraser and come through here and make it much lighter. So I would erase this. I gotta go get one. And then I can lightly come through here and focus on these white areas to try and make it smooth again. So I will get an eraser in a second for that spot. So your goal is to keep your lines together, no scribbles. Use a 2H, 3H pencil and apply a 2 value in this rectangle. It's so light you can hardly see it. Goals, except for there, see those scribbles? I'm going to fix those in a second. Now, in the 3, you can do the exact same thing as a 2, and that's what I would recommend. So in the 3 value, we're going to just carry this valuing with a 2H pencil into the 3. All right, and I'm going quickly for your sake on the video. Now, I notice where my lines overlap here, and I'm going to go back over that in a second. But if you notice here, I put a 2H and then a 2H underneath it. What I'm trying to say is 1 layer of 2H and 2 layers of 2H. So now I'm going to come in, and my lines went this way. I'm going to come back on top and go this way. I'm not applying any more pressure. I'm just making 2 layers of value so that this rectangle will be a 3 value. So it'll be a little bit darker than this rectangle, okay? Now you might think it's okay to stop here, but you do need to color the entire rectangle. Don't try and cheat me out of that. Now I need to assess, is this a big enough difference here. I do think my 3 rectangle could get a little bit darker, but I'm gonna wait a second, okay? So then I'm gonna do a 2H layer and a 2B layer here in the 4 rectangle. Now the goal is to keep your lines together, and if you notice, I constantly go back and try and go over what I've previously put in the rectangle. Now I will say, this is a learned skill, holding the pencil this way, moving it back and forth, and that's really what I want you to focus on. How are you holding your pencil? Are you holding it like this? Because naturally you're gonna put pressure down. You need to hold it at the end, find a good stance, keep your arm flat. When you're holding your pencil, only your fingers are gonna move, and it's really just those fingers. And you really just want to move just a small amount. So I just did a layer of 2H there. I'm going to kind of come in here and smooth it out a little bit. Now, I want you to also notice I'm smoothing out my first layer. The first time you touch your paper, it will never be the perfect situation. So you will always have to come in and fix, okay? So I would say that's a good 2H layer right there, 2H. Now I'm gonna get a 2B pencil. Mine are just different colors because I buy different brands, but I'm sure I have a 2B that looks like this somewhere else too. But you'll notice when you take the 2B across, and I mean, I'm not applying pressure, I'm holding it the same way I did the 2H. It's because the lead is softer, it puts down darker value. And then this is going to get annoying because you'll see where I will overlap. And I'll show you how to fix that. And then remember, you do have to come up here, get these edges nice and pretty. Now, usually when we were in class, I would put on classical music, relaxed music, chill music, and you just need to meditate during this time and really focus on making a smooth application. We want it to look like it's part of the paper, not applied. So right here where it's much darker than here, I'm going to start on the dark area and work my way towards the lighter area. And I constantly change directions. I do that because when you start going in different directions, the more directions you go, the smoother it will look. I have another trick too. So then I'm going to come in here and go this way. See how that smooths out there? Come up here and get this section. I'm going to start here and get this. And the goal is to get the entire rectangle to be the same value. And for it to be smooth too. Smooth is the goal, people. No scribbles. Now, I want you to notice I have not once used my finger to smear. Smearing is not okay. Smearing is for advanced people, okay? Smearing, I just hate smearing. Don't smear. I'm trying to teach you to control your hand, to keep it flat, to use your fingers, connect your fingers to your brain so that you make small movements. I'm not going crazy like this. We have to learn to focus. We have to make a very purposeful connection from our brain to our fingertips. So do not smear. Smearing is not okay. It sadly looks like you dropped it on the floor and smudged it. Smearing is not okay. So, totally changing. This is a 5, and I said just use a 2B pencil here. However, if I just do a 2B pencil, just one layer of 2B, look, it's worse than the 4. It's not dark enough. The goal is to make every rectangle get a little bit darker. The first layer looks like a mess. Like, look at this. This is messy, okay? So I hope you will take it upon yourself to compare to all the hard work you just did and upgrade this rectangle here. Now, another technique that I find really helps with blending, so like this spot here, if you do small circles, and it kind of is the idea with me going all different directions. Your circles, the lines are going in all different directions, and if you value with small circles, it will blend and look beautiful and very, very smooth. I used to student teach, and they made everybody do small circles, and I thought they were crazy, like how controlling of you. But their students' artwork was the best, always won in contests, so they knew what they were talking about. Okay, so small circles, small circles. I naturally go back to my different directions because that's how I was taught, but you can do different directions, or you can do small circles, small circles. I still think this could get a little bit darker. Go back on top here. All right. How's that look? Oh, that doesn't look too bad. Now I'm now above the camera. This one could use another layer, and I will do that in a little bit. As we get darker, you can see I intend to do multiple layers of 2B, 2B times 3 layers, 2B and a 4B, 4B, and so forth. I did not start on the black. Do not start down here. You're going to start one white and then slowly get darker. I will do a time lapse of all this, and then when I get to the last one, I will talk some more.